you're good, hopefully, to snatch an internship, fellowship, or a high quality role. I'm going to share my page now. That way you guys can actually see what's going on. Does everybody in the room right now have a LinkedIn profile? If you do, can you just drop an emoji or something so I know? Doesn't matter what emoji. I'm easy. Can you see my screen okay?
Yes,
Okay.
we can.
Awesome sauce. So if no emojis are dropped, can you drop a 1 in the chat if you do have a LinkedIn profile, a 2 if you don't. So a 1 if you have a LinkedIn profile, 2 if you don't. This is the base of our LinkedIn profile. We have what I like to call a trifecta: our background, the headshot, and our tagline. These are 3 things that you have to make sure that you have filled out and uploaded so people know who you are, what you do, and what's your secret sauce. When I'm sourcing for candidates, I often look on my phone. So when I look on the phone, I'm going to look at your tagline to see what you do. If I don't make it past your tagline, at least I know who you are and what to contact you for. The background itself, you can create in Canva for free. So canva.com, you can go in there and create a background. You'll just type in LinkedIn banner. They'll give you a bunch of free templates and you customize it to make it your own. Mine is very busy. I'm old. I've done a lot of things. Yours can be fresh, innovative, and clean and clear. That's perfectly fine. As long as you tell people what you do. Have a quick catchphrase. Mine is snatch a seat at the table or break it. Depending on how you show up in the world is what you want to put on that background or that LinkedIn banner. If you do end up having questions, drop them in the chat, and towards the end, I'll go over them as quickly as I can because I know we have limited time. When you're building your LinkedIn tagline, this is where you want to put your heavy metrics. If you play sports, if you have a job right now and you are the customer whisperer, you want to make sure you put that in your tagline so you snatch people's attention. So we have to be very strategic about building this profile, especially if we're applying for jobs. Some of us are young. It's still a great idea to have a LinkedIn profile that you can share. As you start networking, as you start applying for jobs, companies, people, recruiters, hiring managers are going to start asking for it. So I'm going to encourage you to start looking at it this evening, this weekend, and make sure that you have a solid foundation. As you go, people put contact information. I have contact because I run a business. I do not suggest putting phone numbers or anything like that. You can put an email that you specifically generate for leads, meaning if you apply for jobs, you have one set email that you use. You apply for internships, you have one set internship email. Keep it all together so that way you remind yourself to look, okay? Going down, some of us, if you're really snazzy, you can create a Calendly link, which is also free if you want people to connect with you. As we start building our network, you want to connect with people and have them connect with you, be savvy and send them your link and watch how they respect you a little bit more because now you're organized and they're ready. Analytics. These I pay attention to. You don't necessarily have to. I like to see who's stalking my page so I can reach out. That's just my jam. But always pay attention as you are building connections. See who's looking at your page, who you want to reach out to. If you've applied for internships or fellowships, check to see if those people are looking at your page. That way you know to ping them, meaning send them a LinkedIn message. I'm going fast because I know we only got so much time. As you go to the About Me section, build out your personality. Share who you are. Share what you do. Like I said, I have 15 years of experience in workforce development. I've been around for a while. I've worked with heavy hitters like Cal, Chevron, places like that. And I want to make sure people know the power that I bring. So when you're talking about yourself, take 2 to 3 minutes. You can even use Chat GPT, but don't just copy and paste. Use it as a structure and as a method to really build your framework of who you are, what you do, and what's your secret sauce. Those are 3 things that you always want to communicate in your About Me section and in your tagline, as well as your banner. Services you don't have to worry about. Featured section. Okay, for any of us who have a hobby, let's say you do photography, I would share pictures that I've taken. That way people understand your skill set. LinkedIn is your digital resume. You want people to know who you are. That way, when I reach out to you, I know exactly what I'm reaching out to you for. I use it for articles, publications. I just got accepted into the Goldman Sachs program, so I shared that so people know just how heavy my business is. But also, I share some of my most popular posts. That way people get an understanding of how my brain works, how my business works, and a taste of my personality. Activity. I am going to tell everybody you need to at least spend 20 minutes 2 times a week on LinkedIn. If you're heavily and actively looking for a job, 3 times a week, 20 minutes. People pay attention to your activity. I pay attention to if you're engaging with posts. If it's just like, what is it? Instagram. That's what the young people use, right? Instagram, all that stuff, Threads, that, and TikTok. That's what I pay attention to. Are you commenting? Are you engaging? Are you liking posts? Because if I have an opportunity for you and I reach out to you, I need to feel confident that you're going to respond. Keep that in mind. And also, please just don't like, post, comment, engage. Companies pay attention to the quality of content that you post. Quality content engagement. That's a big thing. Remember, if you have questions, drop them in the chat. I'm going to do my very best to answer them at the end. Experience. For those of us who are young, talk about sporting events, talk about volunteer engagement. If you volunteer at church, if you help your grandparents do something, to me, that is a different type of service. It's not community service, but it is a volunteer service. You support, you provide care. These are all qualities and skills that you want people to know that you possess. So if you are a caregiver, is what we'll call it, for an older parent, an older grandparent, you can put that in there. Some of us, do any of us have career experience? If you do, just say me in the chat. If you have career experience, you put it in here in the experience section. You want to be detailed with your description of what you do for your jobs, and you want to make sure that they're in order and all the stuff. Skills. Skills is really important for you to take time and add, because when recruiters are looking for candidates, we source by skills. I might source by a company, I might source by a connection I have, but when I'm blindly looking for something, I'm typing in skills. I'm typing in different things that people do well. I always tell my clients, when you're building your skills section, make sure you add the things that you do well and better than most. I communicate well. I can run my mouth with the best of them. So I'll make sure that I put interpersonal communication, team experience, public speaking. These are all things that I do well. I always go back to sports. If you play a sport, you can talk about leadership, teamwork, damage control. I used to coach high school girls basketball. There was a lot of damage control, communication, things like that. Don't overlook the things that you do on a day-to-day basis that you do very well. I'm going to encourage everybody, take some time today or this weekend and write down skills. You can even use ChatGPT again, type in what you do and ask it to pull out your top 5 skill sets. That way you can get your wheels turning. I don't want you leaning on chat, but we got to use AI to our advantage as well. Recommendations. If we're in any programs, volunteer opportunities, the people that we interact with, have them write a recommendation for you. These are people that I've worked with, worked for. I ask them to always write me a recommendation. When people come to your profile, they are looking for how others see you. They want to see how people talk about you, how you're able to interact, engage, and build a sense of trust and accountability. Organizations, again, if you belong to a church, if you belong to an organization, For those of us who are older enough or old enough, if we belong to a frat or a sorority, add that. It's definitely beneficial. Okay. Any questions about the framework for building a successful LinkedIn profile? You got to have those. It's like 5 things, right? Oh, go
So
ahead.
what if they are a young adult who maybe doesn't have a lot of job experience? Maybe they're not into a whole lot of extracurricular activities.
Yep.
Maybe it's like babysitting. Maybe they've had some of those things. I know you kind of lightly touched on that, but how would you recommend? Would you recommend that they have a LinkedIn profile? And then how would you advise them to go about setting some of that stuff up to maybe note some of those skills that they may have in babysitting and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a golden question. So, if you take care of a sibling, if you take care of a parent, if you cook dinner, you have a skill set that you can absolutely share. So, again, I would put babysitter, I would put caregiver, and I would share what skills make it valuable. So, if I'm a babysitter, I already know I know hazard management because you got to keep little people alive. You know how to communicate, you know time management, you also know how to entertain. That's a skill set. Babysitting is hard. I don't have kids, but kids scare me. So if you're able to take care of kids, definitely add that to your skill set. And let's say you walk dogs. Maybe you walk dogs for extra cash. You're a dog walker. Talk about, making sure that you keep the safety of the animal and yourself and others around, having a good idea of the layout of the land. If you take them to a dog park, if you take them for a walk around the block, you have to know where other dogs are, where other people are. So you have a heightened sense of awareness. You can turn anything into a job, essentially. I hope that answered your question.
Perfect. Thank you. And is there an age requirement for LinkedIn?
16 and up. 16 and up. If you're 16, you can have a LinkedIn, and I suggest you start building it because at this age, 16 and above, you can start looking for internships, fellowships, and start building that professional network that you'll need after you graduate from high school. That's always something to think about because that network goes with you everywhere.
Thank you.
Of course. Are there any questions in the chat? I'm going to look real quick to 20 minutes. Okay, okay. Recruiters sourced by skills. I love it. Okay, I'm going to keep going. I got a few more minutes. So now I've shown you how to build the profile itself. Always have the background, headshot, tagline, the About Me section, and make sure you fill out the career experience. If you don't have a feature section, it's okay. Those 5 pieces you have to have though. And if you want to put your education, that's fine. But if you don't, it's okay too. So I'm going to show you a couple of tricks that I use while I'm looking for jobs. So if you go to the home page, I go and look for groups. I go and look for groups that I can contribute to that may increase my network and allow me to make connections for a job opportunity, a corporate speaking opportunity, or for the young folks, an internship, a fellowship, or some type of side job. Young people are so creative and innovative. A lot of you work on social media and don't even recognize that you could be a social media manager for a company, for a small business. A lot of us, I pull my hair out because I hate doing social media. So if I could hire a young person who does it quickly and takes it off my hands, might be something worth advertising for or something shooting your shot at. Because a lot of us old folks are on this thing trying to figure out how to do all these different social media platforms. And think about the things that you do easily. I said it earlier. If you can communicate, if you can send email newsletters or email blasts, you can pitch to a small company and say, hey, I can take that task for you and give them your rate. Use LinkedIn as your source for opportunities. So always look up groups. I have a lot of groups, which is absurd, but as you're looking, some of us like sports, look for a sporting group who may have executives in that group or people who do the recruiting to where you can start sending messages. I'm really good for a quick message. This is one of my favorite groups, Black Tech Networks. If you have a thing for technology, if you have a thing for engineering, cybersecurity, these are the type of groups you want to start looking at and networking. They post, you can engage. Sometimes they post job opportunities. So looking through these groups will be super beneficial as you go. Lastly, I'm going to show you how to look for a job on LinkedIn, which we're all looking for at this point. So when I'm going to look for a job, I'll go to my jobs that I've saved. Maybe, maybe not. I'm impatient. I like it to work fast. So as you'll see, I have a couple of jobs saved that I always go back to see if I actually really want them. If I don't want them, I remove them. But I would love to work for the Golden State Warriors. Actually, I really want to work for the Lakers, but I'll take what I could get. I go to the job posting and I'll look to see what the job description looks like. This one, they just let you click on the apply button to show future interest. But other roles, you can go and it'll allow you to see a couple of different things. You can see the salary. You can see whether it's hybrid, remote, on-site, full-time, part-time, easy apply button. I used to be against it once until I started applying for jobs myself. I'm all for easy apply button. Just make sure you have resumes set aside that are tailored to the different roles you want. I know it sounds kind of foreign, but as you get older, you'll have lengthy resumes and that's okay. Now, the other part that I really like is as you build your network, LinkedIn will show you people to reach out to who are connected to the company or the role. That's where you use your network. And then this is where chat comes into Chat GPT. What I do is my cheat code is I'll highlight the job description, put it in Chat GPT, and ask it to compare the top 5 skill sets and upload my resume to in comparison with my resume. That way, I'm not spending hours trying to tailor my resume. I'm not going to copy and paste, but I am going to look at the skill sets that I need to highlight on my end. So always use AI to your advantage, but start using LinkedIn for your next opportunity. You never know what you can talk your way into and who you can connect with that will be your next best supporter or somebody who's going to root and rah for you. Okay. That's all I really want. Oh, wait, no, I want to show one more thing. Let's see. So as I continue to look for jobs for my clients, myself, whatever, I'm a polite stalker. So what I'll do is I'll go to the company, I'll go to the people tab, and then this little bar right here is a lifesaver. I will type in recruiter or hiring manager for talent acquisition. Talent acquisition is just a higher level recruiter. I didn't say that though. And then I'm looking at the people who are labeled as recruiters. And to take it a little deeper, I look for somebody who looks like me because the chances of them responding to me are higher. So become a polite stalker so you can snatch your next opportunity. Use the advantages and the resources that LinkedIn provides. We have everybody at our fingertips with LinkedIn. You can literally find anybody and shoot your shot. You want to walk somebody's dog, you want to do their social media, this is where you can shoot your shot. I hope this was helpful. I know it was very quick, but I hope it was helpful. And if you have any questions, I have a couple of minutes to answer.
Don't be shy. You have the job snatcher, okay, hanging with us. And she has left a few minutes available for you to ask questions. So do not be shy. I'll have
Yes,
to be
and use
honest.
me. My time is
Mhm,
expensive. I am
mhm,
expensive.
mhm. So
Please use
please
me.
don't be shy. Okay. Would you say on LinkedIn, are there opportunities that might be available? Let's say maybe they're interested in working at Target. Are those types of opportunities available, like entry
Yes,
level type things,
entry
or would
level
you?
roles are absolutely available. And
Okay.
I would go through LinkedIn because then you can make connections with the people that'll actually be at the store who are
Mhm.
doing or making the decisions for hiring. Seasonal
Nice.
opportunities are on there. Seasonal
Mhm.
roles are starting to pop up.
Yeah.
And then the best
Nice.
thing is that on some of these pages, you can find hiring events. You can
Mhm.
find people looking like, hey, I'm getting ready to do hiring event this day, come out 10 o'clock, bring your resume.
Very nice.
So
So I
entry,
know.
mid-level, and executive. Sorry.
No, I was going to say some of you all who are submitting your resume and application and you're not hearing anything back, and you're like, I called the store and they're not saying anything, or I never can catch anyone. Like, this may be how you can use LinkedIn to your benefit. Like she showed you to search, you can search for Target, you can see who works there, you can kind of
Yeah.
politely stalk, right? And go snatch your job. As she said, go snatch your job. And so this is the opportunity. This is, if you utilize it correctly, you could really pull in some really great opportunities for yourself. I
Yes.
love,
And it's
I,
all right there.
and I love how you're showing them tools even on how to utilize AI. Like you said, you can highlight that job description and compare it, have it compare your top 5 skills to that role. Mind blown. That's a gem in itself, everybody. I don't know if you know, but that in itself is a gem. You can even see, hey, okay, yeah, I do have the skills and qualification for this position.
And the
Uh-huh.
last piece I'll say is if you don't qualify for all of the requirements, still apply. Make them tell you no. Don't rule yourself out before they do.
I
That's all I
love
got.
that. Make them tell you no. That's a gem in itself. That is a gem in itself, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Listen, and if nothing else, you heard her say, she looks for people that look like her because you're more likely to get a response. And so that's beautiful. A lot of people won't give you that level of honesty, but truth is truth. So
Yeah.
we, I appreciate that. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to use every advantage, especially in this market. We're
Mhm.
seeing so many different things happening. So we have to be on our toes.
Awesome. Awesome. Listen, and as you can see, she has a really good headshot. So it's not a picture of her and her friends or her and her kids or her and her dog. Although it has a very social media, like your Instagram layout and that sort of thing. This is a very professional, like she said, your digital resume. And so we'll start working towards everybody creating a LinkedIn so that you can use it to your benefit. You all who are participating in Q's programs, you can list all of those things. There are so many skill sets that you're developing, opportunities for leadership. There's college tours. There's all sorts of events that we host where you might be volunteering and helping out. And we want you to be able to list all of that experience and really just it's your space for your branding. Like this is you. And so we're just super excited about all that's going to come. And once everybody completes their LinkedIn, we'll have to share with Miss Jessica. We'll have to have her politely
Yes.
stalk you all to kind of see how you all did.
And I absolutely will. I'm a really good stalker.
I love that. I love that. Any questions, comments?
All decom.
Miss Jessica, how can they find you if they are looking for you?
First, I challenge you to find me on LinkedIn. How about that? Find me on LinkedIn. If you really want to talk to me, you'll find me on LinkedIn. Um, and yeah, that's going to be my challenge for you. Find me on LinkedIn.
Perfect. I was like, she's gonna say LinkedIn. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, if you don't have any questions or concerns, if all hearts and minds are clear, thank you so much for joining us for Workforce Wednesday. Give up some snaps for Miss Jessica. Her time is expensive, but she gave it to us for free because she believes that you all are going to do great work. Thank you so, so much. I'm looking forward to working with you. Listen, y'all, she's dropping gems on me, okay? I'm like, there's some areas where I'm operating in deficit. She's like, girl, we'll get you together. And so I
And
am super appreciative. So you get much love here. Thank you,
thank you.
everybody. You are getting back a couple minutes. I will see you all next Wednesday at 5:30, same time, same place. You guys have a great night.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
Bye. Thank you.